Let's talk about the New Balance 574. It is New Balance's most iconic silhouette, at least in my opinion, it is. It's one of those models that you can count on New Balance releasing year after year in a bunch of what I would call standard colorways that get the job done. But now there's a new version of the 574 to consider that is not necessarily a totally remixed version of the 574. The shoe here looks a lot like a regular 574. It is the 574 Legacy, and the 574 is a model that's been around since 1988. It was first released as a budget version. Well, I don't even know if budget's the right word, but it was released as more of an entry-level version to the 575 and 576 running shoes that were released in the 80s. It was meant to be a little bit more accessible and was meant to be used as like a trusty training companion. It wasn't until the 90s that the 574 silhouette just boomed in popularity, and it really has never gone away since. It is so popular because it gets a lot of things right. It is priced at a really fair price point and is often discounted, which is always a huge plus. It looks good and is versatile in the sense that you can wear it a lot of different ways, and it's comfortable. I think there isn't much more that you could ask from a sneaker. While we have seen the 574 inspire new models like the 5740, and now it's time for the 574 to give itself a really mild refresh in the 574 Legacy. If you saw them at a distance, you would struggle to tell them apart. If you have them side by side, some of the changes become more obvious. The biggest change between the 574 Legacy and a regular 574 is just the overall shape of the shoe itself. If you see them side by side, you will know what I'm talking about. The 574 has a slightly more puffier, I think, silhouette, and that's probably just down to the material choices, while the 574 Legacy looks a little bit more tightly put together, or has a little bit more structure. It certainly feels like there is more structure on foot, and that is aided by some of the padding that you're getting in the 574 Legacy that you don't get in a 574. The regular 574 does have padding around the heel, but in the Legacy model you're getting a lot more padding, which gives it a bit of extra comfort, at least around that area. Underfoot, you're getting very much the same setup. It is an end cap midsole, and if you're not familiar with what the end cap midsole offers, it's basically a foam midsole that has been encapsulated within a thin film of polyurethane, I think it is. Well, there's some sort of coating around the midsole that actually serves a purpose. It's meant to provide the benefits of EVA foam, so to give you that softer feeling underfoot, but with additional stability that you're getting by the EVA foam not being able to squish wherever it wants. The giveaway though for me between a 574 and a 574 Legacy is the tongue. So the tongue, I think, is the most obvious difference that you could spot from maybe not a mile away, but a certain distance away. The regular 574 has a tongue that extends a little bit above the eye stay. Well, it extends more higher than what the tongue in a 574 Legacy does. And while I don't necessarily feel like one gives more padding than the other or assists in any sort of comfort around that area, there is definitely a cleaner look that you're getting with the 574 Legacy's tongue finishing a little bit closer to the eye stay than what the regular 574 would give you. There's some other more subtle differences, like the heel counter around the back of the shoe. There is some stitching on the Legacy model that is kind of like above that clip that you don't get in the regular 574, and the end logos as well are finished very similarly in the sense that they are leather or a synthetic leather, but there is a puffiness to the end logos on the 574 Legacy that isn't in the regular 574. Another more subtle change to the 574 Legacy is the material mix up top. Now, different colorways will have a different material mix, but one thing that I have noticed on this colorway, at least, that's finished basically in a full leather or synthetic leather upper, is that there is more structure to the upper. That is good and it's bad. I think it's good because it does tend to feel a little bit more better put together, but I think it's also a little bit more heavier than what a regular 574 is. Also, in this particular version, there is no mesh. The leather in the toe box is perforated, but there isn't any of that kind of like lighter materials to help give some relief in parts of the shoe, both in flexibility and also in airflow. I haven't worn this enough to really know if it's a big issue, but I kind of am on the fence as to whether or not the changes to the upper actually make it a better shoe or just a different option to what a regular 574 offers. And so would I recommend the 574 Legacy over a regular 574 or a 574 Core as they're known here in Australia? I like the Legacy model, absolutely, but I probably wouldn't recommend it if you were looking to buy one model or the other. I think the changes that they've done in the Legacy model are subtle, but they do have a place, and I can kind of see where the $30 premium goes. But the 574 Core, or that regular model, is just such a solid silhouette that I think will have a place in your rotation for years to come. Well, until it's completely ruined and you can't use it anymore if you do wear it every day. You're getting a lot of the same tech. I think you're getting a lighter overall shoe that probably won't be as comfortable as the Legacy model because of some of the additional padding, but it's not like this huge comfort gap that you're missing out on something special. It's just a little bit of extra padding and a bit of a nicer finished upper. But that regular 574 is comfortable enough and it ages really well. Anyway, I'm really keen to know what you guys think of the 574 and the Legacy model in particular. If it's a model you've been checking out or are interested in, let me know in the comments below. But until the next video, laters.